Hello, thanks for joining. My name is Caitlin Cordani. I'm a bronze leader and trainer here at Archer Travel, and today we are putting together and pulling everything for our presentation to Thailand for part 3 of creating a client presentation. So let me go ahead and I am not prepared today. I do apologize, guys. I'm running late. I had a technician here in my house, so let me just pull everything that we need up. All right. Awesome. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Absolutely, Erica. It's my pleasure. All right. So this is Thailand. So this is Notion, guys. This is the platform I use to keep myself organized. This is the side menu of everything that we put together. And then remember, we were pulling all the pictures from everything that we bought, that we found for the 12-day Thailand, the 12-day Thailand trip from Exotica. Let's see. I am just trying to find it in my files here. All right, so here is the file of all of the pictures. Hi, Walter, from the Thailand trip that we found from Exotica. Okay. Sorry. So what we're gonna do is use these pictures to be able to pull our presentation together.
I ain't seen nothing. He was so happy yesterday that tomorrow was gonna be his birthday, and then
sorry, guys.
Well, his birthday was yesterday.
All right. Hey, Pravilla, welcome in. All right, so what we're gonna do now is pull up Adobe Express, and you guys, I'm gonna put in the chat my training for part 1 and part 2, so that I can give you guys like the trainings beforehand. So, all right, so now what we're gonna do, I showed you guys how to use Adobe Express in part 1. So what we're gonna do is search for templates. And I absolutely love this part because they have a lot of different types of templates. So I wanna do Thailand specifically for the travel to see if there is anything that we can use. Let's see. All right, so I typed in presentation, and so I am now looking at different presentation types. This is my standard go-to. I absolutely love the clean, sleek lines, but I want to make this fun. So let's try Thailand presentation. All right, so I'm just looking for something fun and exciting that we can do for the trip. I'm also looking for specific sizing for social media purposes. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to also share the presentation to my social media accounts for people to also book this trip, because it's not just one trip. It's already a this is Adobe Express. You'll get a full rundown on how to use it in part 1 when I post that later. But what I was mentioning was for the pre-planned trips from Exotica, anybody can book that, and it's the same type of group type deal where multiple people book that trip that's already planned for them, and then they're assigned a date and a time, or they select a date and then they're assigned a time for when they're supposed to be traveling. And then whoever else in the world has booked that trip also travels with them, which is really cool because it's, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie on Netflix, but it's Tourist Guide to Love, which is a travel agent. She works at a fictitious travel agency, and she's sent as an undercover, person to scope out this small Vietnamese tour guide company that they want to buy. So it's similar to this, where the tour guide companies all get together and build the itinerary and then put the itinerary together for people. All right, so I'm going to use this one. I really like it. It's got 6 pages, which is really good to start with. So we're going to go ahead and get that going. And you're going to get a crash course in how to customize this program as well. This template as well, while we build the presentation. And the reason why I absolutely love templates is because they're already built for you and you can see how easy it is to customize it. So 12 days in Thailand. And then so I'm going to use ChatGPT. All right, so basically what it's going to do is write me out exactly what I just asked for. So I'm asking it to shorten it to 1 paragraph and remove the emojis. Typically, when I build something like this, I normally like to have emojis for the engaging aspect of the post. But I am not doing that because I'm using this information for the presentation specifically, not like the social media posts online. So you can also put your business name here. So mine is Bon Viaggio Bookings. And then, these pink lines are spacing. So the pink lines is from the globe, and then, for the paragraph, and then that's even, or I can space it out to center it, or, center it to the page itself, or offset it so that it's even with that tall pink line up there. So I think I'm comfortable with this. I really like it. So, excellent. So now we're going to move on to page 2. So what you do want to do is list out itinerary. So this is where the information that we save to Notion comes in to play. So let's go back to what it was. So here's the trip highlights. So this is all the information that we need for 1 through 7. Okay, so let's pull this out and now we have this side by side. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. Perfect. There we go. Okay. And then this is the itinerary for day, I believe, 3 through 9. Because days 1 through 2 are travel, and 10 and 11 are also travel. Sorry, guys, that pop-up is annoying. So we already have the 7 days of the itinerary put together for us. So we will be able to now build the itinerary pages. That's okay, Terry. Thanks for joining. So now we'll be able to build the itinerary pages a day at a time. So what I do is I like to go to the next page and just kind of delete everything and start from scratch. So we have a lot of pictures. So what we're going to do is select elements, charts and grids. We're going to do charts and grids and then view all. And then let's view this. So here's excursions day 2. And accommodations night 1 through 4 and 10 and 11. So what I want to include is part of okay. So this is part of the hotel here. And this is part of this hotel. So there's 4 pictures here. And then this is part of this hotel, which is 3 pictures, 4 pictures here. And then this is a different hotel for accommodations later on. And then these are different accommodations for nights 5 and night 5 and then night 6. So we want to make sure that we're also putting in the accommodation information for where they're going to be staying or where they could be staying for the options that are provided. And then this is day 2. So we have 3 days, 3 pictures to include for excursions, but there's 2 multiple pictures here. I think I like this one and this one. So we're only going to do those 2. So it looks like we need 5 or 6 squares, right? So we're going to scroll down. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but those are more rectangular. Here's 1, 2, 3. Here's 2 of them that we could try. So let's do that. And then we're going to set this as a background. And then these squares are now customizable for height and distance as well. So to add a picture, you're going to replace it and then upload it from the folder. Right. So let's do this one. And you do have to do them one at a time. And you can double click on it and then adjust the picture. Like that. And then, do the same thing for the bottom. Upload device. And then you can see this one here. Well, we'll probably have a better option with this one for the pool. Yeah, it's a better view here. So let's replace this one for the accommodation. And then this one for the excursion, and then this one for the hotel accommodation. Boom. Now you have two of the pictures, three of the pictures for the hotel and two of the pictures for the excursion. And you know, now you can add in your text. So when you add in text, you just select it, and then now you can choose what text you want to use. So I'm gonna do this one. And then I always add a shape behind it because it's easier. So day 2 in, and then make sure you reference the itinerary to make sure that you're in the correct area. And now you can edit the shape itself. So now that you've got the shape, you can, you know, block out the face of the dude in the picture, and then also still show everything that you need. You can also, on the edit for the shape to fill it in, you can customize it to the background as well. Or you can fill it in for like a pop of color in the pictures. You know what I mean? But for training purposes, we're probably just going to keep it the way that it was, because that's fun. So now it's centered to the page. You're not blocking off the river cruise, but you're blocking out the man and keeping the food and the hotel option. So it's invisible view. This is presentable. In my opinion, this is how I would do it, to squeeze in a lot of information into the same page. So what you can do now is duplicate this page down here. You can just duplicate it. Boom. Now you can select all and delete everything. And now you're at a blank page. So go back to the itinerary and look at, okay, so here's day 3, 1, 2. 1, 2 there. And then also the same accommodations are right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, yeah, 2, 3. So what we're going to do is similar to what we just did for the grids and elements, except for I like this one better. So now you just click on the squares and then set as a background, and now you have it set up to the page size and height. And then we're gonna do the excursions. And remember, guys, these were all pictures that were provided to us by Exotica. I did not do any Google searches or anything like that. These were all pictures provided to us that I saved to my computer. I opened them into a new tab and snipped them on my computer. So now there's the big Buddha and the temple that they will be visiting on the excursion that's available for this day 3. But remember, we have different accommodations in a different city. So we want to highlight that accommodation here in these pictures. One thing that you can do is drop and drag as well, as long as you're getting it into the square that you want to drop it to, which is faster in my opinion. So here's that. I actually did like it the way it was before. So I really like how this came out. So what we're going to do is go back to our itinerary. And this is Bangkok. So we are going to add text. And then but you see how we can't really see it. So add a shape. I really like this shape. I'm pretty much enjoying it. And then this has a lot of orange in it. So I do want to brighten this up here by using the orange from the picture on the temple instead, which doesn't you know, wash out this orange in this picture. So make sure that you're careful. It doesn't offset the gold color. It doesn't wash out different colors in the different pictures. It does pull this orange out of the temple. So you do want to make sure that you're not contradicting any colors in the presentation so that it's presentable. So now we have day 2 and day 3. And we also have the itinerary. So I'm going to replace this picture here with Thailand. And this is really pretty. So I like this. I'm not a big fan of this, you know, colored yellow. So let's darken it up a little maybe, or brighten it up a little. Hey, can you please get out of the kitchen? I'm recording. Thanks. Here we go. Or I have a brand colors that I can choose from. So we can do just plain white with the itinerary, the gold itinerary. It still matches, but it's easily legible instead of having like a background. I do like this yellow on the first page because it does match the globe. But let's go back and do this font real quick. Let's see if we can't pick something else. Ooh, I like that. All right, so to customize everything to be the same, let's do that to everything down here at the bottom. This is the hex color that you can use for your font. And there you have it. So this is page 1 and 2, and then we could do itinerary by day. So you know, it matches. Sometimes you're going to come back and be like, I don't like this, you know, background color. Let's just make it white. It looks better. It's more presentable. It's easier to read, things like that. Right? I like it. All right. So, you guys get the gist of how to create the pictures, right? So now what we're gonna do is go to the next step. I'm going to create the rest of the pictures later because that'll take me a few hours. But because I'm a perfectionist, I am gonna go back and be like, yeah, I don't like this. No, I don't like that. Yes, let's try this, and like rearrange everything. And like, yeah, I'll do that. But you guys get the idea of how to add pictures to a page. So now what you want to do is go back and include everything that is part of the itinerary or inclusions. So let's get back here, whoops, to the itinerary for included options. So this is in a bullet point. So we're just gonna delete everything and do all flights. And then accommodations. Let's try that again. I realized I hit my space. Okay, and then all transfers, activities, and some meals. Okay, so now that we have that on the page, you see how small that is? I don't really like that. So I'm gonna just make it bigger and center it. No, I can't center it. So I'm just gonna center it to the page and the title for what's included. And then this looks to be 2 pictures. So we're gonna ungroup this, yeah, and delete that. And then ungroup that and delete that. And now what we could do is insert a picture. So you go to elements and then you search Thailand, and then you can add in elements of Thailand. That's cute. I like that. So let's blow this up. And now we have an element here that is centered to our page, big enough to take up this space. And now I can move this over. This is centered to the page. And sometimes we're just gonna have to eyeball our margins. So this looks to be all right for what we have. There we go. And that feels more center to me, right? This margin's a little wide, so yeah, there we go. There we go. Awesome. Now it feels more center. The margins are better on the page for me. That's great. So now what you can do is create this timeline for the itinerary. And sometimes you might need to take the time to move it over slightly or duplicate this page to continue it on. So that's what I'm gonna do because we have 12 days of travel. We have 4 of those days are just purely travel. Okay. We have a 11-day flight that's overnight into the 12th day. So it's not even on the itinerary. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this page. And then now I have 2. Timeline day 1 through 5. And then timeline day 6 through 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. And then duplicate this page again for day 11 and 12. And then what we can do is delete everything that isn't necessary for the itinerary itself. And then, you know, write a message right here at the end. So, oh, but see, day 6 and 10, day 6 through 10 is in the wrong space. So we're gonna just move that over. See that, guys? I'm dragging it. Press and hold your mouse and then drag to the spot that you need it to be. So here's day 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then arriving home. So here's all of the reference pages that you should be making sure are available to your clients. So like the availabilities and the categories that are available for upgrades, you can put here on this page. So let's do that now. So available abilities. If I can spell today. And upgrades. Here is a list of available options for add-ons and upgrades. Okay. So the first list, we're gonna pull this back to the side, blow it up so that we can see it. And then do departures until March 2026. That's really cool. Available group tours. We have solo travelers from plus 740. Oops. We have add up to 3 nights to your stay. So we can add, instead of taking away those 3 extra squares on the timeline, the client has the opportunity to upgrade to a 15-night stay in Thailand instead of a 12-night stay. So that's really cool. But let me pull this out for a second. This is way big. So I'm just going to make it smaller because we have other things that we want to put on this page. I always try to make sure I leave room for the spacing, so that if you want to change the font size, you can do that. But now we can duplicate these. So under more or Control D, and then now we can do duplicates. So I just like to make sure that I'm spacing everything. And then now it's all evenly lined up. So Let's get this back to 100% soon. Sorry, guys. I function at 7550. Here we go. Now it's center. Sorry about that. So in the second line, we're going to also do, oh, that's why, because I changed the size. Available for charms. And then superior. So anything with a plus and then a price next to it means it's an upgrade. Luxury. And then we don't need that. So now that we have this information, we can group these together and move it around. And then group these together. And now we can move this around. So now that looks great. And then I don't quite fancy these flags that they're trying to achieve. So I'm going to try something else. I like this Taj Mahal looking. We're going to use it down here. Really like this, so we can put it up here as well. Or you can, you know, take this one out. I actually don't like this one here. So I like this one. I think it looks cute. We're going to duplicate this and then pull it up to this corner. Now we have something covering the page. It looks cohesive. Great. We're going to change the background color so it's easily, you can see everything. So let's go ahead and center this out. I like what it looks like when it's centered. And then now we have these two options, sorry guys, that you can choose to move around. Now this is spacing from the circles to the words. And I like it here. I'm eyeballing my margins so that we have some space, but there's enough of the page that it's not too clustered. You know, here we have a lot going on and it feels crowded, but we have to put all this information in on one place, and pictures is just going to be very crowded, unfortunately. But through our spacing of things, we don't need to have that, right? We don't need to have things so crowded and on top of each other. So I really don't like this tan background. However, I do like the background of the world map right here. So I'm going to keep it like that. And then, so now everything looks really good, right? Excellent. This is a paid version, guys. I'm using the pro version because it came in a package that I bought for Adobe Acrobat Pro. So the Adobe Express can be purchased separately, or you can use their free version. I just want you guys to know though, the free version is fairly limited. You can do a lot more on Canva for free, and it's pretty much used the same way. But I bought Adobe Express really early, or not Adobe Express, Adobe Acrobat really early on in my business. And it came with the package, and I was like, well, I paid for it, I might as well use it. So I explored it. It's really user friendly, and I absolutely like the options better in my opinion. But Canva has a really good alternative for that. Yeah, absolutely. Canva can do the same thing. You can do the same thing that I'm doing on Canva, or that I'm doing here on Adobe Express on Canva. I just don't know how to use Canva because I have been using Adobe Express for so long. But this is the base options for how to create a client presentation, which is what I'm pretty much putting together for you guys. Not everybody has these types of skills, so that's why I wanted to provide that to you. It is a bougie version of Canva. I do want to say the graphics are better, the layouts are better, the fonting is better, the color wheel is better in my opinion. Your options for elements, charts and grids, add-ons, premium options, branding options are so much better. Yes, the layering is way better. Stephanie, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so Canva Pro has a lot. I watched the presentation. It was 4 hours long. I did go through the whole training of Canva Pro by Canva, and I was overwhelmed, and I was like, I don't even know how people really use this feature. So my sister actually did have Canva Pro and gave me access to it to try and figure out, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, it is so confusing to somebody who's used to a different program. So the images that I got from Exotica, I opened them in a new tab. So I right clicked on the picture after I pulled it up. I right clicked it on the picture and then I opened it in a new tab. And when I opened it on the new tab, I took my snipping tool on here's the snipping tool, and then you just take a picture, right? Just whoop. Now you have a snip of what you were looking at on the page. And I just did that I do that for all my pictures so that they are all saved as a PNG file. PNG. I'm gonna put that in the chat, guys. PNG file on my computer. They're higher quality pictures for the snippets, and also they are all available to me in one view instead of having to go back and see if there's like all files, and I have to click on the drop down for all files every time, which is just annoying to me in my opinion. But that's how I get the pictures, and you can see how I get the pictures in part 2, Walter. So this is all the availabilities and upgrades that you can get for the package. So we have the 12 days in Thailand. This is, welcoming them to the presentation. And then you have the built itinerary for the 7 days that they're going to be actually exploring Thailand. And then you have page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for pictures of Thailand and where they're going to be staying, what they're going to be doing. And then you have the next page for what is included in the itinerary after you've shown them all the pictures of Thailand. This is a time frame of the actual step-by-step day 1 through 12. And then, an option to add a welcome back home. We're so glad that you traveled with us. Thank you so much from Bon Viaggio Bookings, or your brand name or whatever. And then this is, availabilities and upgrades. You can also move this to the 2 different spots here. So I moved it next to what's included and what's available. Let's say you don't want to jump right in to the pictures and you want to keep those pictures towards the end, I just shift and clicked on both pages and moved them both. Okay. So let's say you do want the itinerary for the day, what's included in the itinerary, what availabilities and upgrades are, the timeline for each day, and then you get into the pictures. Like you can do that. You can organize it so that it looks different than what you started with, which I absolutely love. So this is a a very rough option for you guys. Drop a Y in the chat if you want part 4, because I'm going to be doing that as a pop-up. I'll be completing the part 4 for you guys offline. Yeah, okay. So Vanessa said 4 in the chat. So let's do that. If you guys want a 4, if you want to put a 4 or a Y in the chat, I can do a pop-up for part 4 for you guys so that you can see how I pull it all together. And I'll do that as a pop-up instead of like a live training for you guys. So I'm getting lots of yeses and yes, Walter, let me get those for you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I have personal information on the screen. Let's see. All right. So Stephanie, it was so nice to see you again. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Let's see my video.
Welcome, my name is Caitlin.
Sorry, guys. Here we go. Okay, so here is part 1. And here is part 2. Okay, and then also you guys can find me on YouTube there as well. My channel, let me go there. Viaggio trainings. There you go. You're more than welcome to find me on Facebook as well if you need any help with anything. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this recording, but I want to thank every single person who has taken the time to join us for part 3 of creating a client presentation.